How do conservatives get people to vote against their own interests? Why are moderates losing more than ever before? There's a psychological theory that explains both of these. And if progressives learn how it works, they can defeat MAGA and moderates for good. My name's Jeff Jordan, and I'm an expert in social change psychology. And if you want progressives to win more elections, then you need to understand something called social dominance orientation. It's a personality trait measuring an individual's support for social hierarchy and the extent to which they desire their group to be superior to other groups. People with a low social dominance orientation, or SDO, believe that everyone has inherent worth. You deserve to eat and to have a roof over your head just because you're a human being. Generally, voters with low SDO will support ideas that are better for the people most in need. In contrast, people with high SDO believe in proven worth. To them, life is a competitive jungle. They think society is naturally a hierarchy and that that's a good thing. If you're at the top, you're a winner. And if you're at the bottom, you need to work harder. They are more likely to support ideas that increase the gap between their group and other groups. That's why sometimes they're willing to vote against their own interests if it means keeping a less deserving group from getting something they think they don't deserve. In the past, there were both low and high SDO people across Republicans and Democrats. But lately, people's SDO level has become hugely associated with their political identity, and a lot of it has to do with Trump. More than any other modern Republican president, Trump is obsessed with the idea of winners and losers. He built MAGA with the message that America was destroyed by them, whether that be immigrants, liberals, or the woke mob, and that he would restore America's greatness for the real Americans who deserved it. This language appealed so powerfully to people with high SDO and was so repulsive to people with low SDO that Trump made this personality trait a predictor of political preference. 20 years ago, both parties had low and high SDO people. In 2024, Trump voters had double the levels of SDO compared to Harris. Generally, this kind of electoral sorting wouldn't necessarily spell doom for a Democrat. They should theoretically get all the low SDO people and remain competitive. And that's generally what happened with Biden. But Harris wasn't able to secure the same coalition, and SDO actually helps explain why. First, Palestine was psychologically more important to her voters than Trump's. While low SEO people don't like divisive language or the idea of us versus them, their empathy is strongly activated by oppression. They expect their leaders to protect the oppressed. And so when Harris didn't do that with Palestine, it convinced enough low SEO voters to stay home. But it wasn't just that. Her overall message about unity and joy also fell flat with this group. While low SEO people generally like unifying messages that encourage everyone to fight for a better future together, they live in the real world and are seeing a growing amount of suffering. They see people here in America being oppressed, and Harris's rosy picture didn't do enough to identify and fight the oppressors. So it's not only morally powerful for Democrats to stand up for the oppressed, it's also psychologically necessary for low SDO voters. But low and high SDO people haven't always been so split. And there's a way that Democrats could attract enough high SDO people while motivating their low SDO base to create a 60% majority. High SDO people want to feel part of a team with a common villain. They want what feels like a fight for the worthy. Low SDO people want leaders to stand up to the oppressors. The overlap is fighting corporations, corporate abuse, monopolies, price gouging, worker pay, working conditions, etc. By turning the us versus them into the working class against those unfairly oppressing the working class, a progressive can capture both low and high SDO people, creating an unstoppable supermajority. Now you might be thinking, okay, great. Let's just blame the billionaires like Bernie does. But here's a trap. Most Americans actually love the idea of becoming successful. Even if they're struggling, many Americans don't want to believe that being rich is evil because they believe they can be rich one day. Progressives focus their attacks on wealth itself. It can trigger a defensive reflex even in people who have $0 in their bank account. In the minds of many high SDO people, attacking wealth is attacking success. And they think they're in a competitive jungle, remember? They want to be on the team with the winners. So how do progressives point out the oppression of the rich without alienating high SDO people? Simple, actually. Don't attack people just for being rich. Attack their oppressive behaviors. This is the SDO Goldilocks strategy. And it fixes a piece of Bernie's strategy that turns off some people. Bernie talks a lot about the oppressive practices of billionaires and corporations. That's powerful. But he also spends a lot of time describing how much money they have. He lists how many houses and yachts they have, etc. Now, don't get me wrong, their wealth is obscene and they need to pay significantly more taxes. But attacking them while talking like you're the hosts of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous triggers some deep American defensive reactions that keep just enough high SEO people out of the coalition. Instead, focus on their actions. Low SEO people hate oppression. High SEO people hate cheaters. When a massive corporation jacks up the price of insulin, a landlord uses an algorithm to fix rents, or a power company raises your rates while charging tech companies less, they aren't being successful. They're cheating the system and oppressing the rest of us. Go hard, name names, call out all the ways they're oppressing people. Talk about the policy changes that will protect us from them, and then go all in on progressive economic policies. Go for all of it. Just talk about it as one, fighting the oppression of working people for the low SEO, and two, stopping the cheaters from taking from us, the hardworking people, for high SEO. No doubt if we do this, the right wing will accuse us of class warfare, but that's only because they know how effective this strategy is. Also, you and me both know establishment Democrats aren't going to do this, so progressives have to take over. It's primary season, and we need progressives using this strategy to beat the establishment. So if you're a candidate or work for one or donate to one, don't listen to the establishment or the DNC or the old school consultants protecting their corporate clients. Corporate power is an existential threat to democracy, our health, our livelihood, and our planet. Act like it. And if you do, over 60% of Americans will follow you.